You've been doing this wrong, and the frustrating part is you've been doing it wrong with discipline, real effort, real sacrifice, and still nothing changes. Sometimes it even gets worse. Before you cut another food group or drop your calories lower, pause for a second. There's something most of the fitness world avoids saying out loud. Starving yourself after 40 does not just stop working. It pushes your body in the opposite direction. This is not a pep talk. It is a reset in how you see your body at this stage of life. The rules you followed in your 20s are now the very thing slowing you down. Here's what we're unpacking. Why eating less makes your body cling to fat. What is actually happening hormonally? And what shift makes leaning out feel steady instead of punishing? Let me ask you something. When did you decide that less food equals better results? At one point, that idea worked. You dropped calories and the scale moved. But that version of you had a different hormonal profile, different recovery capacity, different stress load. You are trying to run an old strategy on a new system. I did this longer than I want to admit. I kept tightening calories because that's what had worked before. It took me a while to see that the strategy itself was the problem. After 40, your metabolism is not just slower. It is more adaptive. It has practiced surviving restriction. Every aggressive cut taught it how to operate on less energy. So when you slash calories now, it does not rush to burn fat. It reduces output. It conserves. You are not failing. Your body is responding exactly as designed. There is another layer people rarely connect to food. Chronic restriction raises cortisol. That stress signal does not just affect mood. It directly influences fat storage, especially around the midsection. Add intense cardio and long fasting windows to an already stressed system, and you amplify the message that resources are scarce. Your body listens. The tighter you squeeze, the more protective it becomes. This is where the shift begins. The issue is not simply calorie math, it is the state your body is operating in. After 40, body composition becomes more hormonal than arithmetic. Testosterone trends downward. Estrogen patterns shift. Thyroid output becomes more sensitive to stress and underfueling. Muscle mass, which drives metabolic rate, becomes easier to lose, especially when protein and total calories stay low. When energy feels scarce, the body does not prioritize holding on to muscle. Muscle is metabolically expensive, fat is efficient storage. So you lose muscle, your metabolic rate declines, and now maintenance requires fewer calories than before. What feels like a plateau is often a slow reduction of the very tissue that keeps you lean. This is why the eat less, move more loop gets more frustrating each year. Look at people who are genuinely lean and strong after 40. Not depleted, not fragile, solid. They are rarely obsessed with extreme restriction. They train with intent. They eat enough to recover. They protect muscle. You cannot shrink your way into a strong metabolism. At some point, you have to build it. Building requires fuel. That means sufficient protein, not whatever fits into a severely restricted day. It means total calories high enough to support training, recovery, and hormone function. When the nervous system stops perceiving constant threat, cortisol lowers. Thyroid function stabilizes. Insulin sensitivity often improves because the system is no longer in survival mode. This feels backward at first. Eating more to lean out sounds reckless when you have spent years trying to cut. But if chronic undereating created a stressed hormonal environment, simply cutting further only deepens the hole. Calories still matter. Energy balance still matters. The difference is that your baseline physiology must be supported before a deficit becomes productive. Think about what you have been asking your body to handle. Work stress, family demands, sleep disruption, training sessions. Then on top of that, you remove fuel and expect it to perform better. That is not discipline. It is misapplied effort. The people who stay lean after 40 tend to shift identity. They stop treating their body like an opponent. They treat it like a system. They lift to build strength, not just burn calories. They track protein before they slash carbs. They measure progress in performance, energy, and waste measurement over time, not daily scale fluctuations. I misunderstood this for years. I thought the answer was always tighter control. What actually moved the needle was giving my body enough to feel safe while progressively challenging it with resistance training. The shift from restriction to strategy changes everything about how you feel during the process. Instead of white-knuckling hunger, you focus on recovery and output. Instead of chasing exhaustion, you build capacity. If you are stuck right now, more discipline around the same broken plan will not fix it. Consistency applied to the wrong approach simply makes you consistently stuck. Update the approach. Feed your body enough to support muscle. Keep protein high. Train with resistance several times per week. Manage stress as deliberately as you manage calories. Then, if a deficit is introduced, make it moderate and temporary, not extreme and chronic. Stop running a 40-year-old body on a 25-year-old script. The rules changed. Nobody announced it. And most people are still blaming themselves for not responding to advice that no longer fits. Now you know.